framework. Value is that of moral legitimacy. Again, moral legitimacy. The affirmative team would like to claim that the value is justice. However, I believe throughout this debate round, I'm going to prove to you why the value is actually moral legitimacy. The criterion for that value I'd like to put in place is that of respect for democratic institutions. Again, respect for democratic institutions. And the warrant of this is a democracy's moral authority comes from the idea that political decisions are made through fair participatory processes. John Rawls argues that citizens have a natural duty to support just institutions because they are the mechanism that protects rights and equality. When people unilaterally break the law, they bypass the very system that gives all citizens an equal voice. And the impact of this is that of if individuals can override democratic processes whenever they dislike an outcome, the legitimacy of the system collapses. The moral question isn't, is the law wrong, but is breaking the law consistent with treating all citizens as political equals? Under this principle, civil disobedience is not morally justified. And I'm going to explain why in a couple of contentions. The first of those is that of civil disobedience undermines democratic equality. Again, undermines democratic equality. Number one, a democracy is built on equal political power. Again, democracy is built on equal political power. In a functioning democracy, everyone has access to voting, representation, petitioning, lobbying, courts, and public discourse. These processes exist so disagreements can be settled without coercion or law breaking. Number two, civil disobedience privileges the few over the many. Again, privileges the few over the many. When individuals or small groups break laws to pressure the state, they substitute their judgment for the collective decision-making of the demos. That violates the principle of political equality. And number three, the impact. If political change is determined by who is loudest or most disruptive instead of who can win through democratic procedures, democracy slides towards minoritarian rule. That's morally unjust because it treats other citizens as inferior participants in the political community. Next is my contention 2, which is that of civil disobedience harms rule of law. Again, civil disobedience harms rule of law. Number 1, rule of law is a prerequisite for rights and justice. Again, rule of law is a prerequisite for rights and justice. Without a predictable legal system, rights can't be enforced, harms can't be remedied, and the vulnerable face arbitrary power. Number 2, civil disobedience erodes that stability. Again, civil disobedience erodes that stability. Even if nonviolent disobedience encourages selective compliance with laws. Once people view personal moral judgment as superior to legal obligation, the system can't compel compliance consistently. And the impact of this is that of rights protection collapses. Everyone becomes the judge of which laws deserve obedience. That destroys the moral foundation of a democratic society. Contention 3 is that of democratic remedies exist. Again, democratic remedies exist. Number 1, democracy provides moral alternatives to disobedience. Again, democracy provides moral alternatives to disobedience.